we're going to talk about the Walk of Fame as well. So let's get started with Grove Clinton. What's happening down there?
Yep, so I'm wearing the tourism hat. So, it's turning fall, so all the wonderful pumpkin patches, the hay rides are starting. The leaves are starting to change. So you'll see a lot of people driving the Great River Road, and there's still events going on. This Saturday, we've got the MS Fest down on Riverview Park that supports the Finch Fund, a great organization that helps people that are diagnosed with MS keep their quality of life in their own home. And then you have the Wine Fest at Wild Rose. Then the following Saturday, the 28th, is the Bacon and Brew Fest, so you can still buy your tickets for that. October 5th is the Fulton Fall Fest. I think last weekend was the Thompson Fall Fest.
Yes.
October 13th is the Downtown Fall Fest. Yeah, lots of fall-themed things. Lots of activities going on. We just had a fishing tournament over the weekend from basically Iowa Bass Nation.
How'd that go?
You know what? We'll admit it went great because they were so self-sustaining. So basically, we set them up at Legends, Wild Rose. Wild Rose took great care of them, got them generators. They used the band shell. It's one of those great events that they've done it multiple times here. So, they basically just show up, do some fishing, stay in the hotels for 4 or 5 days and then go home.
Before we get to Stuart, how did you get involved with the Walk of Fame, Matt?
Yep, so I've been on the Hometown Pride since it was like a city commission. And so this goes back to, when Mary Seeley and some others were looking for a project for somewhere on Riverfront or outside, a literal Walk of Fame, like a Walk of Stars. So that's where the Walk of Fame idea came about. And we had, our first class. And, from that, we had Duke Slater, and we just did the Duke Slater statue. But I got my good friend here, Stuart, who's kind of really taken a lot of the lead role on a lot of the stuff for the Walk of Fame the past couple of years, even made a website and all that. So I am happy to turn it over to Stuart. I really just get to, kind of handle some of the background things and show up for the day of due to the great team that pretty much does it all.
All right, Stuart, again, will be coming up this Sunday, 4 p.m. at the Eagle Point Lodge. Great location for it.
Yes,
so
it is.
Who is all going into the Walk of Fame? And just briefly, a little bit about them.
So for this year, our 2024 honorees are Glenn Drowns for humanitarian acts, Shauna Green for athletics, Vincent Jetter for humanitarian acts, Larisse Laurent for humanitarian efforts, Eugene Paulson for professional achievement, Kenny Plain for athletics, and David Sidwright for professional achievement.
All right. How difficult is it to select these people?
I personally would say it's not that difficult. We do have a process where we accept a bunch of nominations throughout the year, and over the year we just weed them down into about 7 or 8 people that we think really emphasized what it means to be a professional in whatever area they were nominated in. And another requirement that we look at is, were they born and raised here in the county, or did they live here for an extended period of time, and also made their impacts not just within the county but also nationally?
How often does the board get together, Stuart?
We usually meet once a month. It's usually the first Friday of the month at Nora's Cafe, and we usually talk about other projects that are going on within Clinton and around the county. And then we have a little committee that meets usually in the summer to kind of nail down the honorees for the upcoming Walk of Fame.
Yeah, what about the nomination? How does that work? I mean, do you accept nominations from the public, or how does that work?
Yes, on the Sawmill Museum, there's a dedicated page there where you can submit nominees for any of these categories, and usually we have to have a little write-up just to say what they did, it's just a general overview of their achievements, and then also we need to have just articles, sections from books, or anything that helps highlight what they've done.
Okay, well, let's talk about these people that will be going in. You've got the list there in front of you. Who do you want to start with?
Well, I would just start with Glenn Drowns here. So he got in for humanitarian acts, and he's mostly done conservation efforts, and for past 40 years, roughly, he's owned a 40-acre farm here in Clinton County, and it's He's been growing a bunch of veggies, grains, and other flowers. Just kind of like a little wildlife preserve there. And he also has a big collection of heirloom poultry, and also has a successful mail order seed and chicken business there.
I would imagine he'll be there at the ceremony.
Yes.
Okay. Shauna Green. Shauna Gerrensen, had a chance to cover her when she was in high school, of course. Great all-around athlete. Now doing remarkably well as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Is she going to be able to be there? She's pretty busy right now.
Yeah, so I've heard.
Okay.
So she started off here in town, went to Clinton High School, and played basketball, and also played some sports in college as well. She is currently leading the University of Illinois women's basketball team, and some of the other sports she played in besides basketball was also volleyball, where she still holds some of the top 5 records in kills and blocks. And
remarkable athlete,
yes.
No doubt about that. Vince Jeter is next.
Yes. So, born and raised here in Clinton, he has had a lot of different community involvements, which includes Habitat for Humanity, Voices of Diversity, and also being chronological, or taking on the chronology of local Black history. And also did a lot of stuff with Bethlehem Church and other community efforts through that. Some other things includes the Clinton Substance Abuse Council, NAACP, and 4-H Club, and the Vince Jeter Community Center, which is right next door to the brewery now, is actually named after him.
All right. And there was a nice article in the Herald on Saturday on Louise Laurent, and she's going to be one going in as well.
Yes. Another one for humanitarian acts. Began her career at Custom Pack and has been involved with Kiwanis, along with helping out with the Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast, the YWCA's Caring Tree, Symphony of Lights, and the Community Easter Egg Hunt.
We got a couple more to go over with who's next on your page there. Turn the page there,
Yes.
Stuart. Who do we got? It looks like Alan Paulson.
Yep. So Alan Paulson was born here in Clinton and became a pretty successful businessman, racehorse owner and breeder, and philanthropist. He did serve in World War II for a few years, and then went back to college at the University of West Virginia, and then came to TWA as a flight engineer and then commercial pilot. So part of that was selling surplus airplane parts and founding Gulfstream Aerospace, which became the world's largest manufacturer of private jets.
Again, visiting with Stuart Lind about the Walk of Fame coming up this Sunday. Kenny Plain, I had a chance to meet him a few years ago. Just an amazing athlete, of course, at Clinton High School, at the University of Iowa as well, and then had a remarkable career in the Canadian Football League. I got a story about Kenny Plain.
Okay, shoot it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bud Grant was the head coach of that team up in Canada, and he wanted to find out about the offense that Forrest Evashevsky was running at the University of Iowa. So Evashevsky was showing him some film, and Coach Grant goes, well, who's the quarterback? And Coach Evashevsky said, well, he's right here on campus. You want me to go get him? So he went over and got him. He was actually drafted by the Cleveland Browns, but they wanted him to be a defensive back. He wanted to be a quarterback. So he went up to the Canadian Football League, and I think he won 5 Grey Cups. So he did pretty well up there. And you say his wife's going to be there?
Yes, she's going to be there accepting the award, and get to talk with her a little bit as well while she's there.
Yeah,
And
man.
I think one of his teammates is going to show up too.
That's
I forget
incredible.
Robert Blankenship or something like that, called from the 1957 team. So
Yeah, that's going back. That's amazing. That is incredible. And David Severite, I know,
Yes.
still very active.
Yeah, he's been a long-time lawyer and attorney, and also a 7th Judicial District judge. Some of the other stuff he's been involved with, been the Clinton Area Showboat Theater, the YWCA Board, Grow Clinton, and the Clinton County Development Association.
All right. Stuart, thank you so much. Matt, we're going to wrap up with you. If people want to come to this event, how can they do that?
Yep, they can buy tickets online or call myself at 242-5702. We can put you on a will call list and pay at the door. Or you can there's an online option. Again, it's this Sunday at Eagle Point Lodge, $30, right? Yep. And get you a meal as well by Creative Catering. And so, yeah, it's a great way to celebrate. This year we didn't have any military honorees, so if anybody's out there that wants to nominate this year, it's always special. We've had Henry Lingerer and Don Kent. Don Kent was 100+ years old. I actually think it was 100. And he did some flights over in the Pacific during World War II, things like that. It's really neat, especially for the living veteran, to get to recognize that. So,
how does the program work? Do these individuals that are there or their representatives get a chance to speak?
Yep. So everyone who's accepting the award gets to go up and do a little speech. That's as it was special for Don and Henry. They both were there and gave a really awesome, veteran speech. We've had, WHD Kerner's families Skype in or Zoom in and whatnot, just so they get a chance to tell their story. So that's really what it is. That's another part of the nomination and kind of the process is, we do talk to the families and, make sure that they're going to be able to attend one way or another. Just so that's because that is the special part is when someone gets to go up and accept and things like that. Julie Allisey drove in from Texas a couple years ago, things like that. So that's what's really special about the evening. It fills the lodge. It really is a great time to kind of celebrate all the the great people and things that have come out of Clinton County.
And of course, you get to overlook the widest part of the Mississippi.
That's right.
All right.
So they say.
Stuart, thank you so much, man. Always great to have you in.
Okay.